Hey everyone, welcome to Noodlenomics. So today I'm going to go through my budget setup, talk to y'all about the categories that I use, the things that I think about on a regular basis when I'm thinking about my budget. And then after we go through all of that, I will go into YNAB. So at the start, it's all about what my dollars have to do. So I have my home category, which is things like my mortgage, my property tax, HOA, internet, all of that good stuff. And then I have what I call my must-haves. So this is things like groceries, gas, healthcare, subscriptions, insurances that I have, and an unexpected junk drawer because, life happens. After that, we think about giving. So this is really like generosity. So I have monthly and annual donations that I set up. After that, I think about my rich life. So this is things like my travel fund, self-care, eating out with my friends, bebopping around town, checking out a comedy show. All of that goes into my rich life. Then I have my savings bucket. So this is Roth IRA, brokerage, new car, long-term emergency fund. And of course, after savings is debt. So the only debt that I carry other than my mortgage is my graduate student loans. I'm paying these down in the way that makes sense to me for my life. I don't want to only attack debt. I think it's important for me to invest as well as do other things in life, see people, make friends, or continue to see my friends, spend time with my family, etc. So debt is important, but it's not daunting to me. I know I can tackle it. And yeah, so these are my major categories, and then I break those down into smaller tidbits when I get into YNAB. So now I'm going to walk you all through how I set up all of those categories, what I call them. I give them some fun names because finance needs to be fun. Let's jump into YNAB. All right, so I'm going to show you how I set up my budget. So first I deleted everything that was in YNAB and I'm going to create category groups. So I add them in from what will end up being on the bottom of my list, going up to, what should be kind of at the top of my screen. So I have a category for reimbursements. I get money back from family, friends, work, etc. So I keep them categorized there just to kind of make it easier to track those kinds of transactions. Then I have something called The Time Will Come, which is kind of more of my like annual fees and subscriptions. Future proofing is new car fund and long-term emergency fund. Then we have wealth building, which is kind of self-explanatory. I also have a category above that, which I believe is my living my rich life. So this is kind of like all my fun stuff, things that make me happy. Then above that, I have my must-haves. So these are kind of all of the things that, just kidding. I have generosity before I have my must-haves. So generosity becomes me is basically like giving, so compassion, things like that. And then above that is the must-haves, right? So now this is, as you can see, the list is building. So it's kind of going from like what's kind of top of mind all the way down through the month. So the must-haves is like groceries, things like that. And then I have my like home, which is called the Queendom because why not? I'm a queen and it's my queendom. And then above that, I have graciously tackling my education. So I am, very like happy with the education that I received. It is a debt, but like I said earlier, I have a plan that I'm working on to pay off my student loans while still, creating and living a fulfilling life. And then I tried to add credit card payments, and then I forgot that because this group will get added when I add my accounts in. So you'll see that in an upcoming part of the video. And then other than credit card payments, I have something called my money bag of holding. This doesn't actually do anything for my budget, but it just helps me kind of keep track of things when I add items to it as I end up, say, funding a bunch of things. And then if I haven't made a decision yet about like leftover funds where they need to go, I kind of put them in that money bag of holding just so that I utilize the funds, give every dollar a job, but I'm not like moving it between multiple categories. So this is just showing you, I've kind of gone through and put in all of the like subcategories or like the line items that fit in these category groups. I usually put like what it is, a date if it's associated by either when I need to fund it or when the bill hits. And I'm still deciding if I should move these annual ones down to the time will come. But for now, I'm just going to leave them in my queendom because there are things associated with the house. So my must-haves, things like life insurance, healthcare, my unexpected junk drawer. And then going into kind of the next section here, we have generosity becomes me under that. So yeah, those are items like donations that I make monthly. I have an annual kind of pot of money that I distribute. And then this Making Others Smile is just like a gifts fund I put into a savings account and I use for gifts throughout the year. Living My Rich Life, travel fund, my self-care, eating out, DoorDash type things, bebopping around town, culture, so things like dance classes. I do have my gaming subscription here, but that's mainly because I pay for it twice a month and it didn't really fit into subscriptions in my mind. Then we got wealth building, which is retirement. So this is outside of my regular retirement accounts. And then also brokerage. And then I do budget for money towards a new car and my long-term emergency fund. It's slightly different maybe than other people do it, but for me, it's really important to make sure that I'm hitting certain goals. So it's just easier that way. And then the time will come is again, those kind of annual or like irregular kind of spending. So car maintenance, which is wheels and deals. I have my annual credit card fee listed in here. And then I also have my YNAB subscription. And then reimbursements, like I mentioned earlier, is just things because I get paid back from family, friends, work. You get, reimbursements on a credit card that sometimes don't fit nicely into some of those other categories. So yeah, it's like a lot of line items, but honestly, I feel really great about the way that I'm able to set up my budget and it helps me track. I might adjust it later on, but for now, this is working for me. Thank you so much for supporting my content. It would mean the world to me if you could like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, get notified when I make new ones. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of Noodlenomics.